I know you're doing a lot of stuff on Google advertising.
Yep.
Using Google advertising.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not doing anything on Google, just mostly Amazon PPC and some Facebook. So give us a few tips about how useful do you think Google can be to, I'm not sure, to replace PPC or to increment PPC.
Yeah.
And how.
All right. So I'm gonna do some self-plugging, which I'm gonna try to keep at a minimum on this coaching roundtable. So Seller SEO has a tool called Traffic Titan, and it's kind of it was actually came about kind of by accident. It was kind of like I was like, man, I got so tired of going into Google and creating all these ads, and it took so long, and I was just like, this is ridiculous. So initially, I actually built that tool for myself. Actually, pretty much the entire Seller SEO suite I built for myself because I was getting so frustrated with the current tools that were out there, just wouldn't do what I needed them to do. There's a new Amazon tool every day, so it's hard to sift through it. But with our tool, like the main thing I wanted to build was something that was like super easy to use but really powerful. So it's like if you're a beginner, it works really well. If you're advanced, it works really well. Just because it saves so much time and it kind of gives you the expertise that people like me who've been selling on Amazon for a long time. It's kind of baked in. All right, anyway, enough with the sales thing. But so what Traffic Titan does is it builds campaigns that target keywords using two-step URLs. There's different types of two-step URLs. In a future coaching session, we'll maybe go over like really specific on all the different two-step URLs and what they're good for and which ones to use and things like that. But the reason why, number one, everybody's like, when you go to any Amazon, training or forums or Facebook groups, all they're talking about is Facebook ads. Everyone's just like, oh my God, Facebook, you have to use Facebook. You have to use ManyChat. You have to do all this. Go ahead and do it. We tested it thoroughly, and the return on investment is not there. You're just going to piss money away. you're going to need Amy's scooper solution to scoop out all the poopy results you're going to get from the spend you're going to do on Facebook. So Google is underutilized. It's kind of, people use, that's all people used to use. Then people kind of got to the point where Facebook is now, where it got super expensive. So people jumped off of Google and went to Facebook. Now it's the other way. Now everybody's using Facebook and nobody's using Google. So, I mean, for example, I'm getting, just for example, on this best-selling product that I love to talk about because it makes us, I love it because it's like my wife and I are like, 70% of our business comes, in the last like 4 months, especially from this one product. So it's insane. But the reason I like to talk about it so much is I'm paying 1 penny per click to the product right now from Google. 1 penny. Every day I'm getting about 3,000 clicks to that listing. And it's
they're going to your Amazon listing?
Correct, to a two-step URL. So that's just to give you an example.
So do you see this in sessions in Amazon?
You do not. See, that's the beauty of a two-step URL. That's why people use two-step URL. A lot of the biggest mistake that people make with those two-step URLs or with URLs is they send people directly to their product listing, and that's where your sessions get screwed. If you get 3,000 people going to your listing and not buying that, then your sessions are screwed. If they're going to a search page that has your product, if they're not interested, they're just going to click away from that page. They're not going to actually go and view the product. If they do go and view the product, there's at least some intent there, so they're more likely to convert. In our case, we've tested this over and over again. There's only benefits for sending traffic to the listing using two-step URLs.
Okay. So you're getting thousands of clicks, 1 penny clicks using.
Yep.
And your Google ads are for the equivalent keywords that you are targeting on PPC, or?
So right now on that product, I'm targeting, because I've already ranked for so many keywords, because I started kind of with a wide net, and then I started to see what I ranked for, and then I started to see volume, and then I started to see what was working ranking wise, and then I doubled down on those keywords. So then I went from I think I started with about 12 keywords. Now I'm down to I went down to 10, and now I'm down to 8. So I'm just focusing on those 8 key or phrases, not keywords, phrases. I never target a single keyword. It won't do anything for you. So phrase. So, so targeting those phrases now, we're getting, like I said, I should look at my ads yesterday. I think it was like 3,500 clicks to that product. And like I said, we're ranked anywhere between the first result to the 4th result for one of the most sought after phrases for Christmas time.
And Andy, if I can just put this plug in here, I started with Andy's Titan tool. I was one of the first users of it, and it's tripled my sales. And I was able to completely stop my Amazon PPC. Now I just use cover all campaigns. And not only that, but I am a coach, right? A consultant, and I've helped several people launch, and we use the Google Ads campaigns, and they have seen incredible results that their competitors are not seeing. And the reason is because their competitors aren't on Google.
Yep.
It's so cheap. My average cost per click is 11 cents. Try that on Amazon. You're not going to get there.
Yep.
So what that allows you to do is grow your audience and grow your ranking and your BSR through Google Ads. But then what it allows you to do is really focus your Amazon PPC on those razor sharp keywords, long tail keywords that you know are going to convert. Yep. For that cheaper amount, right? Versus spending so much in auto campaigns and everything like that. Now, of course, auto campaigns and things like that are important when you're launching, but after that, you need to back off so you can start making some money, right? And Google Ads is the perfect way to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Great to talk to you in person. This is a really awesome format. I'm enjoying this because I've chatted with many of you guys, over like Facebook Messenger, or email, things like that. This is much more personable, so I'm definitely enjoying this format a lot.
I know your intent isn't to do, to do an expose on the Titan, but I had not done, I did AdWords 100 years ago and had not done it in a long time, and so I've put a bunch of Titan campaigns in, and honestly, Google just started driving me nuts with all the suggestions, and it turned out to be a lot of maintenance after the fact. Is there a good tool for managing that, or any secrets for?
So what do you mean by suggestions after the fact? Like they're giving you like notifications or something, or?
Yeah, they're saying here's 25 other words, great words to use, and consider turning these into a separate campaign and blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
I didn't want to do that much maintenance.
No, you don't have to, and Google will do those kinds of things all day long. It's just like on Facebook when you post something in, like if you have a Facebook page where it's like, hey, you could boost this post for $10 and 30,000 more people. The BS that Facebook says, which is never nearly the amount of people that'll actually see it. They're just trying to
help you spend your money.
They're just trying to get you to spend more. You don't. Right. I mean, there is some maintenance you can do. So here's the few things that you might have to do after the fact. One of the things you might have to do is change your bids. If you're burning through your budget super early in the day, all you need to do is reduce your bids. Now in Google, you can use the select all button. You go to edit, and you can bulk change all the bids at one time, or you can just change the campaign bid, the ad group bid. And that'll change all the keywords. Now, what you want to look for is the performing keywords, the ones that you're getting the most clicks for the cheapest price. If those are the click-through rates fairly well or fairly good, and you're getting a lot of clicks through that, then that's when you might want to look at getting rid of some of the keywords. I would not add keywords unless it's unless those keywords are really really relevant. In the case of Titan and the Google Ads, you don't want some super fringe stuff that's not super relevant to your product, because that will make that won't get you the kind of conversions that you want. If you're throwing up the keywords in Google that are like not are like single words or things like that, they're probably not going to get you much. So you want to try to stick with the stuff that's relevant, that's giving you a lot of clicks. Get rid of the stuff that's not performing or that's not super relevant. And then just like on Amazon, what I tell people is if your budget's being blown early in the day, reduce bids, raise your campaign spend. You do those simultaneously, and that way you get more clicks for less money.
Make that last statement again.
So if you're budgeting out, it's just like on Amazon PPC. So like if you wake up at 10 a.m., 10 a.m. If you log in to Amazon at 10 a.m., if you're sleeping until 10 a.m., God bless you. I wish I could do that. My kids have me up at 6 a.m. these days, 5:30. Woo. Anyway, whenever you're logging into your Amazon account, say it's like at 10 a.m. and you've seen that your budget's spent, then that's where you want to reduce your click bids. So in other words, you want to lower your bids on your keywords and then raise your budget. So does that make sense? So that means that you're going to get more clicks for less money because you're going to increase the budget and lower the clicks. And then you want to keep doing that process over and over again until you've maxed out your budget, meaning that your budget never gets spent. It looks like we have a late attendee. Welcome. I'm going to post. I recorded this, so hopefully I can figure out how to repost it on Facebook and YouTube after this, so people who joined us later or didn't join us can watch it. But anyway, you want to max out your budget. You want to get to the point where you're never ever running out of budget, and how you do that is by reducing bid, raising budget. Does that make sense?
Yep. Thanks.
Of course, my pleasure.
The other cool thing about Google Ads is that you can have like a $5 budget a day, and it goes so far because the clicks are so cheap. So that's just incredible when I see like my Amazon campaigns are running out, at $20 a day they're running out, and and you got to do so much optimization, and the Google optimization is fairly easy.
Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily recommend turning PPC off. I wouldn't use this as a replacement. In Amy's case, well, I shouldn't say that. It depends on your niche. If your PPC on Amazon is super expensive, like $5 a click or something like that, I wouldn't even bother. But if your PPC costs are relatively, if you're getting a decent ACoS, then just reduce your bids. Get to the point where you have your PPC on, but maybe you're getting like a 5% or 10% ACoS. Which, P.S. If you guys haven't tried the new product targeting, it takes a lot of time to sift through the products that are converting, but jump on that right now. I've been getting crazy 5%, 2%. I mean, I actually had I think the lowest ACoS I've ever seen was 1.2% on product.
I got a 1.4 today. I was like, yes!
Yeah. So the problem is it's going to take a while to sift through. So if you start them now, it might take you 3 or 4 or 5 days to get the initial data to start reducing bids on ones that aren't converting, raising bids on ones that are converting. But jump into that. If you haven't created a product campaign yet on PPC on Amazon, do that immediately, because the return on investment, the ACoS is crazy right now.
The other thing with my PPC, I still run PPC. I just do more of the lower bid, cover all campaigns, right?
Yep,
and then of course I just did the product targeting, and I loved the results of that. And of course I still always do PPC, launch, everything like that. This is more for long-term strategy,
Sure.
way back off of it. But I also definitely recommend you fully optimize your Amazon PPC. I just see a lot of people spending a lot of money and not making any money over the long run.
Yeah, the Facebook groups with 180% ACoS. Yeah, I know. Those are rough. And the thing is when you're launching, so there's two different, people don't really get this, but there's two kind of ways to look at ACoS and your return on investment on PPC. One is when you're first launching, you might have 130% ACoS, because there's that settling in period where you need to learn what works. It's just like any ad platform. But once you start, once you're within a week or two, that's when you need to start turning dials. If you're a seller SEO user, we've got a couple of tools that help you optimize automatically, and build campaigns too. But if you don't want to do that, then you're going to have to teach yourself how to go in and optimize and reduce bids and raise bids and those kinds of things.
I'm going to ask one more on the Google ads. Are you getting those cheap traffic from the long tails, or because I put in everything it recommended, and I was actually getting some good expensive traffic, but there was a lot of long tail cheap traffic.
Well, yeah. So you need to attach. So like in Amy's case, since she has a cat product, the keyword, broad keyword cat on Google would actually probably work pretty well, because it's a cat related product. So it depends on your product and your niche. So I shouldn't say never use a single word keyword. I guess that's not great advice. Definitely use a single keyword if it's pretty relevant, but test it. If it's a single word and it's getting tons of traffic and it's super cheap, then definitely why not use it? Test it, see what happens. You're getting more and more traffic to your listing. That's never a bad thing, as long as you're using two-step, of course.